Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is our podcast, Mind Your Health Podcast. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of subconscious reprogramming that we all talk about. What I want you to understand is what's under the surface. When I talk a lot about the importance of content versus context, really, when we focus so much on the doing, what's tangible, what appears on the outside, the superficiality of all that we do, without really digging deeper into the things that make us do and be who we are, is much more important. And I feel as autoimmune patients, we miss the bigger picture when we miss completely our tendency for us to really recognize or not recognize what's really driving our behavior. Because 90%, even up to 95% of all that you are and do every day is really dictated by your subconscious mind. Let's talk about what is subconscious mind, because there's a lot of people talking about the subconscious mind and it's becoming a new fad word. Subconscious just means unconscious, it's latent, it's suppressed thoughts and feelings. It's subliminal, so it's beyond the surface or below the surface of awareness. It is dormant, hidden, concealed. It's the innermost deep nature. It's the intuitive thing that drives our behavior that we don't sometimes recognize, right? We don't recognize the hidden motivation that actually drives our behavior, right? What I really want you to understand is feelings drive our behaviors, and we really are basing so much what we do on the feelings. We live at the mercy of our feelings, not recognizing that the thoughts always precede the feelings. I really needed to sit with this for a long time. And even then, I didn't get it, because this whole concept of subliminal or subconscious programming, or this whole innermost intuition, all the things that I talk about, was so intangible for my logical mind that I believed always that I was a logical person. And logical person and being all that analytical is good, because I tend to overthink and overanalyze, and I tend to really reason out all the reasons as to what. And here's another thing is, I used to believe that the more effort I gave to whatever scenario or a situation or a goal that I have that I'm pursuing, that I would be able to achieve it. And so it wasn't about the intuition. It wasn't about so much the subconscious nature of who I'm being, but it was all about how much can I do? How much can I fit in? How less can I sleep to get in as much study time as possible to receive this A? Or how much harder can I work to hustle my way through success? Always thinking that at the end of my goal is success and happiness. But I just have to tell you that whatever I thought was successful, whatever I thought was going to make me happy, when I reached that goal, it was never reached. Like, I didn't feel the fulfillment. I was run down, I was super tired, and I got really sick, and I ended up getting autoimmunity. And so that sort of led me to this path of psychoneuroimmunology, where all the traumas of my past, of how I'm showing up to my life every day, that is deeply conditioned from a place of inadequacy, of never feeling good enough. And so the whole context for my life was, if I don't do these things to improve myself, then I will never be worthy of love, worthy of success, worthy of happiness, of all the things that I already had. And so I really want you guys to really understand what subconscious programming does to us. It's really the beneath the surface of the tip of the iceberg, right? We only look at the tip of the iceberg to determine what we're going to do. But beneath the tip of the iceberg is the depth of that iceberg, right? It's the biggest, massive trauma and all the things that drive our behavior. So if we don't recognize the hidden motivation that drives our behavior, then it's always going to keep us in a cycle of pain of hamster wheel, right? And this is why it's so hard to change what we do, because when we try to change the behaviors themselves, all the doings, it is still the subconscious identity, who you are at the core being, that is engaging you to automatically behave a certain way without thinking. This concept I learned from Jim Forten, my coach, and it was a breakthrough through everything that I do. So in order for you to truly make necessary changes to transform and ultimately heal you from autoimmunity, you must learn to reprogram your subconscious mind, your innermost being, to align with your goals. And they need to be your specific goals, not the goals that were set by everybody else, but it's got to come from the deep-seated yourself, right? And it's the self-work that we're not asked to do. So I really want you to really focus on really letting go of external worldly expectations that we think we're fulfilling and living our lives for everybody else. But you and I both know there is this void deep within that is constantly having us search for a deeper meaning. And in the process, if we don't find that fulfillment, we're always going to be circling and really spinning on this hamster wheel of pain, discontentment, and dissatisfaction, right? And so remember, autoimmunity, for me, the way I consider it, is an opportunity for growth and healing. So I really want you to take a deep look at your life, look at your history, look at what drives you, and understand that really your habits are automated and your thoughts are automated. Your feelings are automated based on what you learned from what was, right? So our brain, the way it works, makes decisions without really logically refuting anything as evidence, but it's already made up its mind before you even present whatever you are considering. And so if your brain has already automatically made that decision for you before you even consider it, you know how fast that automation works in your life. It's almost like your brain is programmed to be so efficient. And unless we take a deeper look at it and coach ourselves through and really look at what's driving our behavior, we're never going to ultimately transform from the inside out. And I know that, if you're listening to me for a long time, I really know that healing is really a deep, layered work. It's not all about just changing your diet, just trying different supplements, hoping for the best, taking different medications. That unless we really transition and transform the very fiber of our being and change our automated responses, our habits, and our identity at the context level, no amount of content that we deploy or apply in our lives will make a dent in whatever it is that we want. So I really want you to go there. It's going to be a very short, provocative little episode today. I hope this really hits home with you to really think about what it is that you want And really, I want you to learn to define success for what it is, right? What it means for you, and really envision what that looks like, right? And even being healthy is different for everybody. What it looks like for me, very different from somebody else, right? Some of you guys might want to go through a day without pain. I might want to do a handstand inversion and hold a handstand for 10 minutes. I don't know. And some of other people might be running a 5K marathon. Some of us want to do an Ironman or just run on the beach or travel without having to think twice about our autoimmunity, right? And so this whole concept of health, whatever it is, it's personal to each and every one of us. And it's not defined for us, right? It's not about being absent of any symptoms, because that still doesn't mean you're healthy. I really want you to really go deep and really figure out what it feels like, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and what you're achieving in your life, and with who and what, and really be clear about the characteristics of how you will be being when you are fully healthy and recovered. Unless you can fathom that in your mind, we'll never be able to really achieve whatever it is, because we're always going to be chasing after what other people tell us what healthy means for us, right? But it has to come from you. And it's time that you look deeper within you, as opposed to looking at everybody else to dictate exactly what it is. And I can tell you, in my autoimmune health transformation program, this is what we uncover. A lot of my patients are learning that it was their husbands, their kids, their parents, their grandparents, their friends, colleagues dictating exactly what they ought to want. And so much of what they do is held hostage and bondage from all the expectations from other people, that they forgot who they were. And to really figure this out is the work that I make them do, because it's one of those things it's hard to do on your own. So really, thank you so much for watching. We have people from Ontario, Canada, California. Thank you. These are good points that I'm making. That's good that it's resonating. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I really want to kind of challenge you to think above and beyond your autoimmunity, to really transform the way you think about yourself, and really think about who you're being in your life to potentially contribute and perpetuate autoimmunity. Because unless you can really understand what that looks like, we can't really make significant changes in the direction that we want. And this is truly from my personal experience, as well as the patients that I serve. Okay. So really look to yourself, learn to listen, learn to focus internally, and really learn to trust in your intuitive sense, and go with your gut feeling and trust yourself. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please, please, please subscribe to my podcast, Mind Your Health, on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere the podcasts are listed. And if you would leave us a review, that would be great. I would also encourage you to go find me on Instagram, where I share a lot of little inspirations throughout my day, some cooking and all the things in my life. And that's at Dr. Connie Gian and at Lupus Rebel. So thank you so much for watching, listening, and I'll see you guys all next Tuesday. Bye for now.